here at the Year in Infrastructure Conference in London 2016. This year we've announced a lot of great innovations to the press through various press releases, product news alerts and advancement insights, reality modelling going mainstream.
Sure.
From your perspective, having talked a lot this week on reality modelling, how significant is this for the industry?
Oh, I think it's hugely significant. So from two different perspectives. So the enhancements to ContextCapture, like you said, the ability to use both photographs and point clouds as input to the reconstruction process is important because they're complementary technologies. So with the advent of small unmanned aerial vehicles or UAVs, the ability to capture photographs from the air has become more accessible than ever before. And this allows you to have very wide and broad coverage very quickly and inexpensively. But it might be lacking in some of the precision or detail that you want for certain assets. So it gives you the broad context, but not necessarily the detail, which you could get perhaps from a laser scanner. So you can use sort of the more expensive technique on a smaller, limited area to get greater precision and accuracy in that area. And then with the new release of ContextCapture, you can take both inputs, the point clouds and the photographs, and fuse them into one lightweight model that has both the precision where you need it and the broad coverage for that greater context.
And so it sort of lends to more updates that we have. The OpenRoads CONNECT Edition, OpenRoads Designer press release that we put out this week is pretty big news for Bentley and the civil and Department of Transport infrastructure environment and firms that will be really interested in looking at the features and functionalities of that. So things like conceptual design, detailed design, right through to construction.
That's right.
And that all provides cost analysis, options, optioneering based on what sort of concept you have and how much does that cost to put a roadway here? Are there tweaks that you can make to improve the cost level of that? And then, of course, again, adding in the reality mesh that you talk about, or the enlivening of that, it's making it really 3D and interactive, but it has that engineering value that...
Right, and I think that's a very important point, Aidan, that the OpenRoads family of products, from OpenRoads Concept Station through OpenRoads Designer and then through construction, it's important to remember that these aren't just pretty pictures. You know, even though they look really great and they're very realistic, they actually have real engineering value, and that engineering value is not lost as you move through the life cycle of the asset, from conceptual to detailed design through construction and ultimately into operations, of course. So I think with OpenRoads Concept Station, the ability to use the reality context to quickly sketch in designs and get a cost estimate for your designs early on in the process, because that's when you have the most influence over the ultimate cost of the project.
One topic that has come up a few times is deep learning. The ability for machines, for advanced analytics, for business intelligence, for machines to talk to machines, for humans to interact with the machines, and for a sort of learning experience, I suppose, you might call it, not necessarily just on the human side, but machines learning from other machines. So one thing might be sort of looking at hindsight, insight, and then foresight as a way of talking about learning.
Right. Yeah, so the topic of machine learning is very interesting, and it's an advanced topic, of course. We're applying machine learning in a couple of different ways. At Bentley, we have an applied research team, and we have people who are experts in this kind of a thing, and they've looked at a few things. So with regards to reality modeling and reality context, today we're partnering with Microsoft on a number of levels, and they are introducing new services all the time. And we're looking forward to working with them to advance in that way. The other thing we're working on with regards to deep learning is looking for trends in the big data, the big data analytics.
Algorithms and different types of opportunities to take different sources of data. We see South Australia as a good example to take in information from hydraulic models, take information from energy consumption, energy usage, weather conditions.
Exactly.
Put that into an engine to predict and prescribe outcomes.
Exactly, and another great example is in the rail industry. So we're looking, of course, we have one of the leading tools for linear asset decision support, and in AssetWise CONNECT Edition.
I was interested in the AssetWise CONNECT Edition. We talk about a connected data environment through all phases of the infrastructure lifecycle.
Yeah.
And with AssetWise CONNECT Edition, we have an acquisition through Amulet.
Yes.
And that provides the opportunity for deep machine learning across all different types of infrastructure project asset types, different projects. So it's inbuilt now, right, into the AssetWise CONNECT Edition.
It's a service, it's a capability set within the AssetWise CONNECT Edition, which is our operational analytics capabilities. And you're right, it's the opportunity for machine learning, but even maybe you'd call it more mundane types of things like linear regression and other types of regression analysis.
Yeah, and so we hear a lot about digitization of technology, and this falls right into that with the amount of sensors in the network, the amount of big data being created, but also just digitizing all aspects of workflows or infrastructure assets. And I can kind of see this, the first opportunity to really deliver on a smart city, and if you combine that with the reality modeling potential, deep learning with reality modeling, going mainstream, perhaps you have this really three-dimensional representation with really smart, intelligent assets connected through a connected data environment for all different infrastructure professionals through that line of connected data.
Exactly, and that's at the essence of information mobility, being able to have that rich data that comes from design, as we spoke about, like through OpenRoads, for example, but all the way through the construction into operations in the context of reality across all different practitioners and disciplines, being able to share and use that information with, of course, the appropriate authentications and authorization rules, and not everybody can see everything. So that's all built into the AssetWise CONNECT Edition, the ability to share what you want to share, and have different roles and permissions based on that.
Yeah.
But it does, I think, unlock the potential for a truly smart city or smart intelligent infrastructure in general.
Yeah, fantastic. I suppose last thing would be pretty significant news in the geospatial industry with a announcement of a sort of partnership with Topcon.
Yes.
And integration with their Magnet application, Enterprise, and Bentley ProjectWise CONNECT Edition. So how significant is this for the industry?
I think it's truly significant. It's really transforming the way work is done, and both improving, I think, ultimately improving the cost and the end product, the quality of the end product. So that I can just explain a little bit about what we're doing there. But with Bentley's OpenRoads technology, we're able to provide detailed models to the Topcon enterprise, and then they can take these models basically as an output from our Bentley system into their machine control and guidance systems.
And then another part of that, back to the reality modeling topic, continuously survey the construction project as it's going on, giving visual representation and a temporal analysis of that project.
Absolutely, and that's also, I think, very important from a safety perspective. So when you're talking about road design or any civil works and you're moving massive amounts of earth, you have huge earth moving equipment on site, and it's dangerous to send surveyors and other personnel into those areas to make the measurements that they need to make. So you often have to slow things down and make sure people are safe, number one priority. But with the UAVs and things like that, we can capture the surface in pictures from the air, and then use the reality mesh technology to measure volumes and look at changes and progress across the site. So I think it's really, really an exciting time.
For the industry, isn't it?
It's an amazing time.
Watch this space.
Yeah.
Bob, it's been great interviewing a fellow colleague.